Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect and all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Tamayan from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video. So, I was listening to the elder Yashawamba, and he made a statement about Israel's blindness and that veil that Moses had over his face, right? When he came down off of the chariot, when he received the Ten Commandments or the commandments, right? And when he came down, he was, he had to put a veil on his face because the glory of the Most High and wisdom was shining off of him, and he was, pretty much blinding Israel. But that was a representation of where we at right now in this world, right? And when it comes to prophecies, because now you can see certain things are being made clear, it's being made plain, and some Israelites just can't get it, right? Case in point, mark of the beast. A lot of Israelites are denying the fact that the CHIP is the mark of the beast, right? Um, that's being the main thing, really, right? And we're in the time where we're seeing it being manifested, right? Certain people don't think Esau Edom is the so-called white man, right? That's another. That's another. That's another example of Israelites being blinded, right? Um, so now, in the time where all Israel should see what's going on, right? It's not so. The elect are the ones that's being elected from the beginning to see what the prophecies are saying in the end, right? And now they're speaking, and 2/3 of our people, they can't get it, right? And they can't see it because they're blinded. Now I get that, but before, let me get that scripture with Moses, right? And it says Exodus 34 and 29, right? So it said that the radiant face of Moses. That's the not the topic, but that's the, yeah, I'll say the topic. Not the topic. The what's the word? Why is it skipping me right now? Skipping my brain right now. Anyways, it'll come back to me. The radiant face of Moses, right? And I explained it to you that this was when Moses was on Mount Sinai. He came down off the chariot, right? And Israelites, were in their folly, right? But I'll just get into it. It says, and it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, which are of the chariot, right, with two tables of the testimony in Moses' hand. When he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with them. So he was pretty much cursing them out, right? Because I think this was before when the Lord came back to him and said, "I'm gonna destroy these people that you brought out of Egypt." And Moses said, "No, I didn't bring them out of Egypt, Lord. If you destroy them, what would happen? What would the people say? What would the heathens round about say? You brought them out of Egypt so you can destroy them? It's not a good look, right?" Roughly paraphrasing, obviously. So, because the Lord had already seen what Israel was doing, so in that, the Lord just blinded 2/3 of them. That wicked generation which always come back, here they are, right? The Lord always blinded them. And when Aaron and the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid of him to come nigh, right? And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them, right? The mediator, the king, and afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord had spoken with him in Sinai, and till Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face, But when Moses went in before the Lord to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone, and Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with him. Right? So that veil is a representation of the blindness that Israel is going through right now. Right? And most of them are blinded, really, for that destruction to come, because the Lord wants them to be destroyed, right? Because of the thing that they've done in the past, right? And keep reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring, right? And rightfully so, because the Lord has just shown Israel what all he can do by parting the Red Sea for them, destroying an army for them. And this is what they're doing, right? Not even a couple of years after the niggas are going off, right? And they've seen what the Lord can do with their own eyes, and they still don't have any faith, right? So that had to be done. The Lord blinded them, and that was a representation. That veil was a representation of Israel being blinded, right? So the rest was blinded. Here we go again. It's already in here. Romans 11:7 says, What then? Israel hath not obtained that which she seeketh for. Why is that? Because of the things that they've done. It's all the sins that they've accumulated over the years, right? And guess what? It's only come down to the elect. Only the elect will get it. Only the elect will not be blinded. But the rest of our people will be blinded. But the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Right? They're blinded they're even blinded that to see that this is the end. They can't even see that, much as the prophecies, right? They think that this thing is gonna go on forever, and if you think like that, that means you're blinded, right? Some of them don't even think that they're Israelites, right? Those on the an extra special source of blindness, man. And then there's the ones who know that they're Israelites, or they're like Torah based. They're the ones who know they're Israelites and deny the Messiah, right? That's all blindness, right? Blindness have happened to Israel. Has indeed happened to Israel. Hopefully it's not the same scripture I just brought out. Yep, still in Romans. Romans 11:25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, right? It's a mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits. And most of our people are wise in their own conceits, right? And that makes them wicked, right? That blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles become in, right? Niggas are off, man, right? And they deny the Gentiles, right? You have people saying, the Gentiles are, other nations, but they don't even that they don't understand, right? They're looking at themselves as Gentiles, but not Israelite Gentiles, but natural Gentiles, right? So it's a cluster F, right? It's all over the place, but we have that 100% truth, right? And we can navigate ourselves through all of these misconceptions, men that are in their own conceits, right? Men that push in a doctrine that's contrary to what we've taught, men that sold out, right? All these things we can see because the Lord has opened our eyes, right? And He gave us that breath. He gave us that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He put back out all those sinews on our bodies, right? Spiritually, right? And that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing the results of men that the Lord are dealing with, and you're seeing the result of men that the Lord isn't dealing with, right? So you're seeing two dynamics of men that's saying that they're Israelites. You're seeing the true men, and you're seeing the fake, right? And Even our forefathers, man. Even King David knew how wicked these niggas really are. Like their table. Even King David didn't want you to get it. This is Psalm 69 and 22. And it says, let their table become a snare before them. Tables, these scriptures, these words that they read, they eat and they're not getting any nutrients from this food, from this milk, right? And that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap, right? And this should be for our welfare, because when you go back um, to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, it tells you, right, Moses, same thing, was telling us, this should be for your children, children, and children, children, for the generations to come, right? That they write these laws and statutes and commandments on their hearts, right? Now that we have them in words, guess what? The same thing that was supposed to be for our welfare now has become a trap, right? But only the elect will flourish when they read these words, right? Only the elect will get fat when they read these words. Everyone else will be malnourished. Let their eyes be darkened, right? Their spiritual eyes, that they see not, and make their loins continual to shake. Pour out thy indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell in their tents. Shalom.